Yo, what up? This your boy, Chill Sampras, coming at y'all with my very first playoff review and prediction. So today I'm gonna get into the play-in tournament, just the play-in games. It's a couple of games that the bottom four teams in each conference got to duke it out to see can they get into a playoffs. So it's pretty much just like a wild card. So we gonna get straight into it. I'm going in with my first prediction, right? So first one I got is the Heat versus the Atlanta Hawks. It's my Miami Heat versus the Atlanta Hawks. Now, it's going to be a good series, or rather a good game, because it's really just a one-game series. For the Miami Heat, the keys to victory is simple. Jimmy Butler pretty much is going to have to be playoff Jimmy. He's been playoff Jimmy in the playoffs every single year, so I don't think it's really going to be too much of a problem. Jimmy been averaging over 26 points a game against the Hawks this year, so that's light work for Jimmy. Matter of fact, last time they played, Jimmy dropped 26, 10, and 9. He was just one assist short of a triple-dub. So he pretty much had an Atlanta Hawks number, and I don't think that's going to change in this game at all. Bam Adebayo, Bam also should have a good game. I'm expecting Bam to dominate. He's going to be defended by Clint Capella, most likely for most of the game. And Capella's more of an interior presence. Bam, if he could take him out to the perimeter, get that dribble drive game going, then Bam should have an easy time racking up scores on Capella. So I look for Bam and Jimmy to have real good games tonight. More so Jimmy, because Jimmy just has a way of turning up in postseason, and that's just what he does. That's Jimmy Buckets. That's how he got his name. Tyler Hero, who's like the third star for the Miami Heat, I like him to have a lot of space because of Jimmy getting busy and because of Bam getting busy. I think Tyler's going to have a lot of space to operate. It's going to free up some wide open looks for him, so he should be able to drain and knock down all the open shots that he get. He's going to have open shots all day. Well, I would expect him to if Bam and Jimmy is doing what they supposed to do. The role players for the Miami Heat, we got a better bench in Miami, I think, than what Atlanta has to offer. The role players like Strus, Gabe Vincent, Caleb Martin, and Cody Zeller, those guys should all be able to step up and eat and have good showings. Especially Caleb, because Caleb Martin is like a utility player. We can kind of put him anywhere. He can defend anything from 1 to 4 on the court, and he's proven that when needed, he can knock down big shots too. So I think our bench is most definitely better than Atlanta's. We got three stars that I think should be able to show up, and if they all play and do their parts, everybody eats. And then Miami, we should be able to take care of Atlanta Hawks. One big surprise that I'm looking out to see tonight is Udonis Haslem. He played his very last regular season home game a couple of nights ago. It was a really super emotional day for him, emotional night. The crowd was behind him. D Wade was there. Gabby, all of them, they was all in the crowd. Everybody was showing love to him. So I'm wondering if he's going to get some minutes in this game against the Hawks, being that it's a playing game, and technically, if the Miami Heat lose, it could be his last outing or his last showing in Miami, being able to play in front of his home team, his home crowd. So I'm looking for that to see what UD does, if he does get any minutes at all. It'll always be nice to see UD go out with a bang and probably put up a couple of numbers. Kyle Lowry for the Miami Heat is out tonight. That's all I got really for the injury report. Jovic also is going to be out for Miami. Rookie player for the Miami Heat. It looks like he's going to miss the game. But even with that, even without Lowry, even without the rookie, I think we should be okay in terms of being able to temper the Atlanta Hawks and be able to hold them down. Now, the key for the Hawks is coming in with a full roster. Nobody should be on the injured list tonight for the Hawks. Their keys is, with Atlanta, they need to move the ball. Like, I'm going to be looking to see how they move the ball. They got to move the ball around quickly. Trae Young needs to get into his offense a lot earlier. Trae Young likes to dribble, and then look for a lob or look for an assist or a quick dish off. That usually doesn't fare well against Miami, a team like Miami that got solid defense. We like to lock in. We play all the corners, and then we play a lot of zone. And so with that zone, it's hard to sit there, hold the ball, dribble, and then hit an open shooter or hit somebody for the lob. So Trae Young got to get into that offense a whole lot earlier to have a chance. And I would even say have DeJounte Murray run a lot of the point. So, because he moves the ball a lot more freely and easier than Trae Young. And he's really good at cutting. Once he passes the ball, he's good at the give and go. So I like to see DeJounte Murray run a lot of that point, take some of the load off of Trae Young. Clint Capella, the center for the Atlanta Hawks, he's going to give you what he's going to give you. He's a walking double-double pretty much every night he comes out there. He's going to give you his double-digit rebounds. He's going to give you, at least double-digit points, just basically off of mostly lobs itself. He's not much of a post-up player, but he does get a lot of lobs, a lot of putbacks, a lot of second effort, second chance points. So I look for Clint Capella to do that and do what he normally does. For the Atlanta Hawks, the role players, the key role players to watch for the Atlanta Hawks is DeAndre Hunter, and Bogdanovich brother. The Bogdanovich brother. Those two key role players need to step up heavy. They need to step up big time. Because the Atlanta Hawks don't have the firepower to be able to offset the three superstars that Miami has, or the three stars, I should say, that Miami has. So Hunter and Bogdanovich mainly, he's got to be timely with his shots. If he gets open looks, he's got to knock them down, because our defense usually clamps down on shooters. It forces people to take shots, but those shots don't come as easy as they normally do, especially in a playing game like this. So Bogdanovich going to have to be on. Hunter is going to also have to take some of the scoring load off of DeJounte and Trae Young, and for the Atlanta Hawks to even have a chance to beat Miami. But with all that being said, I like the Miami Heat to win this game. I don't think I'm going too much out on a limb. A lot of people got Miami winning this game, so I'm going to follow suit. I'm going with my Heat to beat the Atlanta Hawks and to advance into the next segment of the playoffs. So I'm looking for that, and I'm looking forward to that game. That should be a real good one for Miami's morale, for their confidence, because they haven't really been playing the best basketball this year. Coach Spo has been questioned a lot for his small ball lineups. Pat Riley is under a lot of scrutiny for the lack of personnel that he's brought in, or that he hasn't brought in. So this is a big feel-good game for Miami if they can make a statement, put up some numbers on the Hawks and kind of send a message to Boston, who they would play in the eventual next segment or the next round of the playoffs. So this is a big confidence builder for Miami. So I look for them to make a statement and win this game going away. They should. The next game that's immediately after that, it's a doubleheader tonight. So we got two games. I love it, baby. I love this time of year, baby. So the next game after that is going to be the Lakers versus the Minnesota Timberwolves. Now, under normal circumstances, with everybody healthy on both teams, Minnesota, I feel, would have a really strong chance of winning that game. But in this case, they're missing a few key pieces. So with the Lakers, I'm looking at the key for the Lakers is, number one, LeBron and AD need to be superstars, namely AD. No more of that, lackadaisical Anthony Davis, show up when you want to Anthony Davis. We need AD to be a superstar AD. He needs to show that he is the best player on the court. So he needs to be the best player on the court. And basically, he needs to outplay Karl Anthony Towns. If he can do that, and if LeBron just is a half of who he is, or a shell of himself, then I look for the Lakers to have a real good outing against Minnesota. Just going down the Laker roster, also the point guard for the Lakers, D'Angelo Russell, is playing against his old team. So that's extra motivation for D'Lo. I look for D'Lo to come in there and have a strong outing as well. I look for him to dominate his matchup. He's going to be mostly defended by Mike Conley. And Mike Conley, with all due respect, is one of the greatest defenders at the point guard position that we've seen of his era. But I don't know at this stage of his career if he's going to be able to really slow down and determine aggressive D'Angelo Russell. So I look for Russell to dominate that matchup. If he can dominate that matchup along with AD doing what he's supposed to do and LeBron just kind of coasting and keeping the glue together, then I think the Lakers have a good shot. With no Rudy Gobert out there for Minnesota, they should be attacking the basket. The Lakers should be constantly attacking. It should just be a open lane to the rim. I look for them to attack early. try to get Carl Anthony into some kind of foul trouble, try to, force the issue and force the refs to blow the whistle early. So I do look for the Lakers to get a lot of free throws and shoot a lot of free throws in this game, especially with no Rudy in the lineup. And even look for LeBron to handle the ball a bit more so that he can maximize the shooters and the scorers around him. So Austin Reeves, the D'Angelo Russells, the Rudy Hachimuras, those guys, Anthony Davis even steps out to the perimeter. I look for those guys to really have a big night with open shots if LeBron can carry a lot of the load running the point. I would like to see that. I like to see LeBron running a bit more to the point. Then I don't think the Lakers should have too much trouble. On the Minnesota side of things, looking at their injury report, first off, Naz Reid is out. Jaden McDaniels is out. And then Rudy Gobert, who is out due to a suspension. Now, Rudy Gobert, he flipped out. I don't know what's up with Rudy. He got hot. He took a swing at his teammate Kyle Anderson in the last game while he was on the bench. So that forced Minnesota to put Rudy on a suspension for a game. So it looks like he's going to have a 1-game suspension. I don't know if it's 1 game or 2, but I know for sure he's going to miss this game versus the Lakers, which is huge. And that, to me, is the difference in Minnesota, because with no Rudy Gobert, so to speak, however you want to pronounce his name, I don't know. I ain't French. I've never been to France, but I think it's Gobert. I'm just going to say Gobert, whatever. It's a lot. It's going to be tough. It's going to be real tough for them because they don't have that defensive presence. Rudy Gobert is a multi-time defensive player of the year, as well as all defensive team players. So that's a huge gap for them to try to fill, and when they've been so reliant on his defense throughout the year. It's a lot going to be riding on the young superstar, or the young superstar in the making, Ant-Man Edwards. He's one of my favorites. I love to watch him play. He's exciting. He's full. He got a complete game. His game is all attack. He's in attack mode 24/7. So I love to see that. And he got a mean step back J. It's nasty. It's filthy. If you haven't seen it before, you get a chance to see it in this game. He's got a nice step back J. But this is a game that he's going to have to prove himself. He's going to have to come. There's going to have to be a coming out party for him, for those who don't know who he is, to kind of put everybody on notice. He's going to have one of those big time breakout games for basically to carry and will his team to a victory, because when you look around that roster, it ain't too much help that he's going to have. And a game like tonight will be a game that's an opportunity for him to excel beyond what people expect of him, and those that don't know him will definitely know him if he can carry the load tonight. With Karl Anthony Towns hobbled, but he's going to be also asked to do a lot more defensively. So where Ant-Man usually has Karl Anthony Towns as another scorer or somebody to take the scoring load off, it may not be too much of the case, because Karl Anthony is going to be asked to fill a lot of defensive woes that Rudy is leaving, because Rudy's not playing tonight. So with all of that being said, Ant-Man has a tall task in front of him to try to carry his team to victory tonight. I don't know if it's too tall of a task for someone who is young as him and as inexperienced as him, but he does have the task, and he's going to have to try to pull it off. Minnesota's role players aren't really scoring threats. When you look at their role players and you look at the guys that they have on their team, they're not really threats to score the ball and to put the ball in the basket consistently. So that's why I say Ant-Man is going to have his hands full. So it's going to be rough for him. But, hey, we'll see. Now, there's going to take, barring any eruption from Ant-Man or Karl Anthony Towns, or, some kind of anomaly of Mike Conley or Jalen Noel, anything like that out of the ordinary for Minnesota, barring anything like that, I like the Lakers to win this one, which they should win pretty easily, especially with the absence of Rudy and with just all of the offensive holes that Minnesota has. So I don't know, with the Lakers' stellar defense and with Minnesota's impotent. I don't want to say impotent, but with their lack of offense, so to speak, I don't know if it's going to be enough for them to beat the Lakers. So I like the Lakers to win this one in a pretty sizable victory. I like them to kind of make a statement on the road to kind of solidify and put the rest of the league on notice. So those are my picks. Really two good games. We got a doubleheader tonight. I'm excited. Your boy is ready. I got my drink and my two-step ready. I got all that going on. So we looking forward to this game, both games, and we're going to see what happens. We're going to see how close my predictions were to reality. So we're going to catch y'all on the flip side. This is the sports coaster himself, yours truly, Brother Numsi, and we're going to see y'all on the flip side. Y'all enjoy the game. It's playoff time, baby.